This video will show you how to create user accounts using the three different methods discussed in class. The method using the control panel, user accounts, the method using the manage computer, local users and groups, and the method that uses the net users at the command prompt. So first, we're going to go to Start. We're going to go to Control Panel. Okay, scroll down so you get to see the user accounts. Double-click user accounts. Now from here, if you're logged on as an administrator, you could go into Manage Another Account. It's going to ask you for the higher authority to do this. Click Continue. And right away, you have the option in here to create a new account. If you click Create New Account, it's going to ask you what type of account is it. So, new account name, I'm going to call this User2. I'm going to make that a standard user. I'm going to create the account. And now I have User2 right here. If I click on that account, I can then make changes to that account. I can change the account name. I could create a password. By default, the control panel user account applet will create a user account without a password. So I'm going to use the password user2, all in lowercase. Then it's asking me to confirm the password. So I'm going to type in user2 again. Now I could put a hint in here. I'm just going to click create password. I can also change the picture. I can also change the account type. So if I decide that this user should be an administrator instead of a standard user, I can switch from here. I'm going to cancel that. I could delete the account, or I could manage other accounts. So you see that from here is a fairly limited set of options that I have when creating a user account. This is the tool that is available on any computer that is running the home version. Now let me close here. Let me look at the second method. I'm going to do a right click on the computer icon. I'm going to click Manage. It's going to ask me for the higher security level. I'm going to click Continue. The Manage Computer dialog box shows up. One of the options in here is local users and groups. So if I click the arrow to the left, it opens up users and groups. If you click users, you get to see the list of the different users in here. If I would like to create a new user account, I do a right click in here, click new user. I'm going to call this user user3. The full name is user3 Smith. The description is accounting. At this point, I can choose a password for that user. So I'm going to use user3, and I'm going to confirm the password user3. I get to decide at this point whether the user has to keep this password or whether the user will be able to change the password the next time that the user logs on. So if I leave this with the check mark, the user will have to change the password the next time that the user logs on. If I deselect this, then I can have the user will be able to have the same password that I'm assigning to him or to her. I could set it up so that the user cannot change the password. That way I'm in control as to who uses what password. I can also set the password to never expire. Now this is usually left for some special services running on the computer that require always the same password. If I create an account for an employee that hasn't arrived yet, I could create the account and then set the account to disable, and when the user comes, then I can show the user the username that he or she needs to log on, and then I can disable the account. Enable the account. Okay, so I'm going to set it up so that the user changes the password the next time that he or she logs on. I click create, okay, and then close. Let me close this. The next step is to use the net users command. So if you go to start and you go to run, or you go to the search box, you can type the command cmd, hit enter, and when you get to this logon screen, to this dialog box, you can maximize, and at this point we could do the command that we would like to execute. So right here at the prompt I could type net users and then give the command. The only thing is that it's not going to work. The reason is that in order to create user accounts, I need to have the higher security level to do that, and I didn't ask for the security level when I did this. So what I'm going to do is to close the command prompt, and again I'm going to go back to ask for the command prompt, but I'm going to do it in a different way. Again, I'm going to go to start. This time I'm going to go to programs, I'm going to go to accessories, and then under accessories I'm going to do a right click at the command prompt. When I do that, one of the options that I have is to run as administrator, and when I choose to do that, I'm giving the higher rights right now to do whatever it is that I need to do in here. So now I'm going to type in the net command, and if I don't know how to use it, I can always type in the command space /, hit enter, and then I see that there's a whole bunch of different commands that I can use associated with net. One of them is user, so I'm going to type in net user, and again, if I don't know how to use it, I can put the /, hit enter, and then it says that I can type the command the following way. I can type net user, then the username that I would like to be used. I can put a password if I choose, and then I have different options in here like /add. So I'm going to type in net user, and I'm going to create a user account called user4, and I'm going to add that to the list. So I'm going to go do /add. When I hit enter, it says that the command completed successfully. Well, to see if it really worked, I'm going to go back to the command, to the local users and groups. I'm going to go back to manage. Again, continue. Click local users and groups, users, okay, and I see user 4 in here. Okay, so these are the 3 different ways that I can use to create the user accounts.